Hi, this is a briefing on how to use the H2Smart hydrogen generators inhaler to capture the hydrogen gas or molecular hydrogen and breathe this into your lungs, which is much faster at getting into the bloodstream to neutralize free radicals throughout the body or in the lungs for that matter. So let's see how to use this inhaler. First, screw the adapter onto the base, so that's already done, and fill it up with water. We have enough water to go up to where the metal is here, that first layer. It's about halfway up, and you can see inside here is where there's water in a little reservoir, and below that is a membrane, and that's the DuPont membrane that makes all this magic happen. And then you screw the top on to this. And the top basically has a little hole that you can plug this into, and then you now you're ready to more or less get started, except for we're going to go ahead and plug it in. I use this too much, so it doesn't. It does need to be plugged in all the time because I'm using it all the time. Okay, good. So now you can turn this machine on, and it'll turn blue. So now you've got the cannula in place. This is the nostril holder, or the nostril adapter of the cannula. And then if you want to test it and see what is this doing, first of all, actually, to properly test it, let's just turn it off first and try and dispel all this hydrogen gas that's come out of here. And I'll tell you a little bit about the ORP meter. This is an oxidation reduction potential meter, and what that means is oxidation is what causes aging, causes all various organs to fail over time, etc. It's like rusting on a car. That's actually technically called oxidation as well. But it's when free radical oxygen radicals come in and they actually start to age and neutralize and put little burrs on your bones and make you feel older and not quite as supple as when you're young. Obviously, getting rid of these free radicals is desirable, and having less oxidation is desirable. So reduction in oxidation is desirable, and this machine measures the potential for reducing oxidation of whatever it is that it's measuring. All right, so we're just going to turn it on so you can see just in free air what is this meter going to show in the air around. And you can see it's got some positives, it's got some negatives. It's just kind of floating around in low ranges, 52, 16, 0, 1, 12, 33, 1, etc. No real big excitement happening here. A little minuses, a little pluses. It's just sort of how the air is. And so now we're going to go ahead and turn this machine on, and almost immediately you'll see those negatives go up. Just from the ambient air, the nostril is close to the machine. The closer it gets, you see, the more it will start measuring the negative ions. If you get the nostril over it, and which I almost never do correctly the first time, so you get it over the element that's coming out of the ORP meter, then it starts measuring this more accurately, and it comes up to much higher numbers. You get minus 1900, 1800, 1600, minus, all of these minuses. That shows the potential for reducing oxidation. All right, I like looking at that because it gives me the promise and the hope of what is going into my lungs and then what will go into my blood. And overall it's a very positive thing. Each cycle goes for 3 minutes on this meter. And so at the end of 3 minutes, it's going to turn red again. Or when it's fully charged, it'll turn green again. And some people prefer just drinking the water infused with molecular hydrogen. But personally, I love the inhaler because it isn't limited to how much volume my stomach can handle. And also, I can just put this into my nostrils and just sit there, and it's got a little thing that will snug up to your head so that you can just have it nice and snug and sitting right where you want it, and you hardly notice it while you're working. And that way I can just keep breathing in this molecular hydrogen all day long. And it's not going to hurt you. The nice thing about it is you can't overdose on molecular hydrogen, whereas you absolutely can on other antioxidants. Vitamin A, E, and C are very useful. They strengthen cell walls, keep foreign allergens, bacteria, viruses in check, maybe almost as well as molecular hydrogen. But when you take too much of them, they can cause various symptoms. Maybe an increased propensity to cancer, or just in too much vitamin C, you could have problems with your gut. So it's a freer, easier way to get your antioxidants all day long by just breathing in this gas. If you're at a desk or something like I am, and want to avoid things like negative effects of the coronavirus, etc., like I do, this is a way to proof yourself up against that. All right, well, thank you. This little guy has tons of power, both the water and the inhaler. And when it comes to neutralizing free radicals in the body, that can cause organs, veins, arteries, muscles, skin, and everything in between to have early aging, it's, in my opinion, one of the best things you can do. There are other products out on the market. Some of them you have to watch out. The bottle might only be single-walled, or they don't have an inhaler. So ours has both an inhaler and a double-walled bottle. So we hope you choose our product now and in the future. Thank you.